So I'm also sending, you can see the YouTube link. You can equally forward the YouTube link to as many as possible. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Teniola,
Yes, sir.
Omowumi,
Yes, sir.
Omowumi, especially you need to send. You are the course rep for computer science 100 level, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
See the YouTube link, forward the link. The link you use to log in, send to as many people as possible.
Okay, sir.
Philip, are you there? Teniola, are you there?
Yes, sir.
You are
Yes,
not
sir.
doing, you are not doing it, you are not doing, no. I'm only seeing 35, 36 out of 300. And I've sent the YouTube link too. I've sent it and I'm repeating it and repeating it so that everyone can have access to it. So the Zoom link is about 60. So, and it's supposed to accommodate 300. But these are the YouTube link that you can also send to. Please, let's do it while we wait for 8 a.m. Hello, doctor. No. I'm in one of your corridor. No. I'm in the corridor, one of your corridor. Just take your. No, uh, the one in the 103, first floor. Yes, first floor. No, I'll join you. Thank you, sir.
Oh my God.
Nelly,
Hey, good morning, sir.
Nelly, are you a nurse? Nelly the nurse.
Sir.
You are sweeping.
Jesus, I did not mute. Yes, I'm sweeping.
Hey, Nelly, you are sweeping and you are in the class. Okay, mute yourself.
Started.
Mute yourself and be
Okay,
sweeping.
sir.
But remember, I will always call you. I will always call on you.
Okay, sir.
When I shout your name, I want to hear your response.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Price pattern of two candlesticks. Paul.
Okay.
Hey, you can't because my audio is on.
Please, can you mute yourself and stop laughing? Is anything wrong?
Can guesses.
Eh? Mute yourself and stop laughing.
Mm.
I said I.
Okay, once again, good morning, everyone. And I want to believe that some of us are still on the Zoom link and on the YouTube link. Please, I will always love responses from students so that I will know that I'm speaking to students, I'm not speaking to ghosts, rather am I speaking to their parents. So once again, are all of us present?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, good morning. So please, if you have any questions, I will always want you to raise up your hand so that we will be on the same page. Feel free to ask questions, feel free to contribute, feel free to talk. It's lecture. We are all here to learn. Nobody is a monopoly of knowledge. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
I will wait for 2 more minutes before I start. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Sir.
Please use the opportunity to pass the message across to your friends. 2 more minutes. This is what is it by the time now? 3 minutes. So 2 more minutes is 5 minutes after. Then we start. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Goodness off your mic, please.
Goodness, please off your mic. Goodness. 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 It seems that goodness is absent in the class. Goodness, Udochukwu, Udechukwu. Goodness, Udechukwu, please mute yourself, mute your mic. Okay, I think we can start now. We can start so that we're able to.
Yes, sir. We can start.
do at least cover the whole slide before the time. And because I believe by now some of us may be experiencing some one challenges or the other in terms of network, in terms of connectivities. So once again, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good
All right.
morning, sir.
Okay,
Good
good
morning,
morning.
sir.
Good morning,
All
sir.
right, it's okay.
Good
So,
morning, sir.
yeah, so we are looking once again at course 101. And course 101 is Introduction to Computing Sciences. That is the title, that is the course code. The course code is course 101, Introduction to Computing Sciences. Please, I don't want you to forget the course code, and I don't want you to forget the course title. Let it be part and part of you. Then the lecturers for the course, which is myself, at least I've been taking it for the past 2 weeks. Today is the 3rd week. So, and the other 2 lecturers, you can see their names. Dr. Wonhili, you can see his contact. So if you are a course rep now, it's better you take down, you take notes of the course of the course lecturers. Take note of the course lecturers, Dr. Lucky, Dr. Mori, and Dr. Lucky. So if you have the book, if you have gone for the manual, you will observe that the goodness.
Sir, please just mute.
Please mute your mic and just listen. So these are the lecturers, as I said, and if you have gotten the manual, if you have the manual with you from the university bookshop, university bookshop, you observe that there are 9 chapters. There are 9 chapters, 9 chapters in the book, chapter 1 to chapter 9 in the manual. And we shared the chapters accordingly. So I'm the one taking chapter 1 to chapter 3. Dr. Mori is taking chapter 4 to chapter 7. And Dr. Lucky is taking Dr. Mori is taking chapter 4 to chapter 6. Dr. Lucky is taking chapter 7 to chapter 9. So those are three chapters for the 3 lecturers. So my own part of the chapter, which is chapter 1 to chapter 3, ends today. After this lecture, I will not be taking you until we meet during exam or when you are submitting your assignment. So your next lecturer that will be taking you will be Dr. Wohili. So if you are the course rep, you are online on your YouTube, please take note of his contact so that you can reach out to him. Once again, there are 9 chapters in the manual, and it is shared accordingly within the 3 lecturers. So my own part, which is chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, ends today. The next lecturer will start from Zoom chapter 4, chapter 5, and chapter 6. Then Dr. Lucky will start in Zoom chapter 7, chapter 8, and chapter 9. So please, if you're a course rep, please take note. Of course, for the past 3 weeks, some of you knows my office, some of you be chatting, some of you have been corresponding, some of you have been calling, some of you, just like that. And you still have my contact, you still have my details. But that doesn't mean that I will not provide support. I will always provide support and assistance. If you call, I'll provide support. I'll provide assistance. I will advise. So please, that is my contact. My contact still remain the same. And some of you already know my office. Some of you come around on Tuesday, Wednesday, and the class. So Tuesdays and Wednesday or by any appointment. So please take note of that. Then the course schedule. The course schedule still remain every Tuesdays. Tuesdays, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning. Those are our lectures days. Tuesdays, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then the class venue is always through Zoom. So the next lecturer will create a Zoom link for you. So that means my own Zoom link ends today. After this lecture, you may access it, but there may not be class. So you need to get in touch with the next lecturer to send the Zoom link for his next lectures, for next lectures. So please, course rep, take notes. It is your duty, follow up with him. And just as I've been saying in our previous classes, please attend your lectures. Attendance is mandatory. And already by now, we should have known the course outcomes. And we already know that we are using a CC Man's course synopsis, which you already know. These are the course contents, and these are the course outline. So chapter 1 was introduction to computer. Chapter 2 is evolution of computer. Then chapter 3, which is what we are talking today, which is what we are lecturing today, is computer system, under which we'll be looking at the various components of a computer system. The next lecturer will take chapter 4, chapter 5, and chapter 6. The next one will take chapter 7, chapter 8, and chapter 9. So please take note. Now, these are the course materials. And I know that I noticed that some of us are getting, because when some of us come to the department, I see some of us with the workbook and the manual. So please, you can always get the textbook. It's available at the university bookshop, Unilag bookshop. Then don't forget the course evaluation, that your final exam is 70%, your continual assessment is 30%. So today lectures, we'll be looking at computer systems. Computer systems, that is the components of a computer system. We want to look at the various components of a computer system. Once again, please, if you have any question, just raise up your hand. We'll ask and we'll move to the next slide so that you don't forget, so that when network issue happens, you would have gotten your answers. So this is the presentation outline for today based on the textbook. If you have the textbook, you can always go to chapter 3. Chapter 3 of the textbook. These are the presentation outline. We just want to remind ourselves that what is computer system? We look at the component of a computer system. We look at the computer hardware that involve the input devices, the pointing devices, the scanning devices. Then we look at the central processing units, then types of processor, types of storage devices. So this is what we'll be presenting this morning. And you can always get it in chapter 3 of your manual. Now, I don't know if some of us are still online. Now, when we talk about computer system, what do we mean by computer system? What do we mean by computer system? So at least we already know what is a computer when we started the class. So a computer system is a collection of entities. So when you're talking about the entities, you're talking about the hardware, the software, and the liveware. That's what we discussed at the beginning of the lecture. So, but they are actually designed, computer system are actually designed to receive, to process, to manage, and to present information in a meaningful format. It must be meaningful. It must not be words that are not meaningful. It shouldn't be garbage. Of course, we always remember that word, say garbage in, garbage out. No, but it must be in a meaningful format. Whatever information it is designed to must be what? Meaningful. Then, so in other words, computer system is a basic, complete, and functional hardware and software setup. Take note, functional hardware and software setup with everything needed to implement computing performance. Now, just as you have said, what are those components of a computer systems? Now, you can narrow those components of a computer system to the computer hardware, to the computer software, and to the liveware. So when you talk about the computer hardware, what do you mean? Now, computer hardware, as we have said in the previous slide, or as we have been saying, computer hardware that is hard. It means those are the physical parts, those tangible parts of a computer. For example, the input devices, the output devices, the central processing unit, and the storage devices. Then when you talk about the computer hardware, which is also known as programs. The computer software is also known as programs or applications. They are classified into two classes, and these two classes are namely the system software and the application software. I remember we treated that in our introduction in chapter 1 in our introduction. Then when you talk about the liveware, we said that the liveware is the computer user. The computer user. Yeah, if you go back to our chapter 1, to our first lecture, you will see a user working on the computer. So that's what we mean. Liveware is the computer user. We said it's also known as organware or the homeware. The user commands the computer system to execute any instruction is given to. So please take note of the components of a computer system. Is it okay? Then these are the computer hardware. These are the computer hardware. Nelly, are you still in class?
Yes,
Nelly,
sir. Yes, I'm in
Nelly,
class.
look
Sir,
at this computer hardware. What can you see? What are you seeing?
sir, is it the component?
Yes, what are you seeing? Yeah, these are the
Okay.
components. These are the components of a computer system. Componentry. So are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what can you see now
Yes,
in
sir.
this diagram? What are you seeing in this diagram?
Okay. Speakers,
Just
monitor,
Monitor, keyboard,
okay.
flash
mouse, the
memory, hard
mouse,
All right.
drive, the
It's
software
okay.
memory. Okay,
Thank you
sir.
very much. It's okay. And I believe that some of us must have used mouse before. Most of us must have touched mouse, touched keyboard, touched the CPU, which is central processing unit, touched the monitor, touched the printer, scanner, and many. Even as you are, I believe that as we are online, as we are receiving our lecture, some of us are receiving it through the phone or through the laptop or through the desktop. So these are computer hardware, those physical parts that you can touch, that you can feel. So in other words, we said that hardware refers to the physical or the tangible computer equipment and devices which provide support for major functions such as input processing, output processing, and what? And secondary storage. So that's what we talk about. That's what we mean by computer hardware, the physical and tangible components. So the hardware is also referred to the physical component or the functional unit. Don't forget the hardware refers to the physical component or functional unit of a computer, which make up the computer configuration. Now, the design, how the hardware is designed, the design and the construction of the hardware of a computer is what is referred to as its architectural or as the architecture or the configuration. So in other words, the hardware component provide the physical interface to a computer system. And this is a hardware organization. This is where it is organized. You can see the motherboard. You can see the monitor. You can see its keyboard. You can see the central processing unit. You can see that the processing unit, you can actually move it and you can actually fix it back. You can see the memory. You can see the hard drive. Each of them, all of them are the component of a computer system that are organized. So that's what we mean by hardware organization. Then these are the physical components of a computer. These are the physical components of a computer hardware. These are the physical. But if you look at this figure, you get it from the manual. But let's make use of this one. I think this one is very explanatory for us to understand. Component of a computer system. Nelly, are you still online?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wumi,
Sir?
are you online?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Wumi, I know that you are a computer student, isn't it?
yes, sir.
You can see what is entering into the components.
Oh, input
Data.
unit.
Yeah, the data is entering as an input
Okay.
through the input unit, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now, what do you think is now, where is it now entering? After from the input unit, where is it entering? It's entering where?
The arithmetic logic unit.
Arithmetic logic unit.
The arithmetic logic unit. Under which one? Under the where?
Control.
Control unit.
Control unit. Then in which area? Under which area?
Central processing unit.
Correct. Central processing unit. Then inside the central processing unit, you also have another component. What is that component?
Memory.
Memory. And how many type of memory are you seeing in the memory?
Two types.
Okay. The RAM and the ROM, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, outside the central processing unit, what can you say?
The output unit.
Output unit.
Okay, you see the output unit. And what does the output unit, what does it do?
Information.
Yes, it gives us a meaningful what?
Information.
Information. So you can see the process, you can see how it works, isn't it? Now, attached to the whole system now, attached to the whole system, the whole central processing unit, the input, the central processing unit, the output, something is attached to it. What is that thing that is attached to it?
An auxiliary memory.
What is it? Auxiliary memory. Is it?
Memory.
So that auxiliary memory that you see, that is what we refer to as well. What is another name for it? What is another word?
The secondary storage.
Peripheral.
Secondary storage.
Yes. Somebody. Yeah, correct. Some people you can either call it. Yes, you can either call it peripheral what? Device. Is it okay?
Device.
Is it okay?
Yes.
So we should move to the next slide, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So this one is an easy. It is from at least you can see how it works. It's detailed enough. This one is just a brief summary. You have the input devices. You go to the central processing unit, and it brings us an output device. It has a secondary storage device attached to it. It has a communication device attached to it. But I want you to always remember this. At least it makes you to understand how the component of a computer system works. Where is the output getting? Where is the output? Yes.
Hi, sir. You said something about auxiliary memory that is also called peripheral something. I didn't hear very well, sir.
No. This is auxiliary memory. Auxiliary memory is the same thing as the secondary storage.
Storage.
But both, secondary storage, but both the auxiliary memory and this and the secondary storage, both of them all of them are referred to as the what? The peripheral devices, because they are outside. Can you give me just okay? When we get there, you see various examples of auxiliary. Do you understand? I should move
Yes,
on.
sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So once again, just know that auxiliary memory is the same thing, another word or the same thing as the secondary memory. Secondary memory. But all of them are classified as the peripheral what? Devices. Is it okay? Auxiliary memory is the same thing as storage, is the same thing as secondary what? Memory. Is it okay? Now, since they are outside, the auxiliary memory is outside the system, outside the components. That is why we now refer to them as the what? If you look at your input too, your input is outside the central processing. That's why we refer to it as what? Peripheral
device.
The same thing, the same way goes for your output unit. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Will you always remember this picture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's move on. So you can see in this diagram, it's just a brief one. You can see secondary storage. You can see communication devices. You can see output devices. You can see input devices. Then you can see memory, which is the primary memory. Now, computer hardware. We said that computer hardware are input devices, pointing devices, and scanning devices. Now, that takes us to input and output. At this level, we should know what is input and output. We said that when we are talking about the input, we said that is the input that what?
Come down, can sit from here, can sit from here.
What does the input do?
Instruction
It's sending data into the computer.
Okay, then what about the output?
It brings out information.
Brings out
Outcome of the data.
It brings out a meaningful information.
Outcome of the data from the.
Okay, good. Then the peripheral devices, what does it do?
They help to perform input and output.
The peripheral devices accomplish Okay, can we mute ourselves now? We are talking too much. Nelly, can you explain this particular slide that has to do with the input? What is the input you are saying there? What is the input?
This man and Nelly, sha.
Keyboard and mouse. You guys should leave me out.
The keyboard and the what?
And the mouse.
Now, what is the function? What are the functions of the keyboard? It converts inputted data into binary code, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It also sends data to the memory of a computer, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So these are all the input devices. Where is that my friend that is saying Nelly Shah? This Nelly Shah. Yeah?
Please, can you go back to the previous slide?
Okay, I should go back to the previous one. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank
you. What do you want to ask?
I wanted to screenshot, sir.
You wanted to?
I wanted to take a screenshot, sir. I wanted to take a screenshot, sir.
Why will you take a screenshot when it's in the manual? It's in the manual.
Well, I'm not trying to get the manual, sir.
Okay, you have been trying to get the manual.
Yes, sir.
So it's not available.
The manual is in the bookshop. I was told that
it's not available. It is not available. I got mine yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
They got available yesterday.
So it's not available before.
All right. It was not available before, it's now available. Now you must
Yeah,
know,
okay.
you must know the function, you must know the various function of an input unit. And don't forget these two function. One, we said it converts inputted data into binary code. It sends data to main memory of what? Computer. Now, these are the input devices. We are already familiar with these devices. All of us know these devices, isn't it? We all know these devices. So these are the input devices. Nelly. Is Nelly there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yeah, Nelly, mention all the input devices now. Just mention, don't just mention.
Okay. Keyboard,
Nelly,
pointing device,
Nelly, you are the one making noise. You are the one making noise. You are the one making noise.
Okay, sir, I'm coming.
Where are you? Where are you going that you are coming? Nelly, just mention the okay. The input devices are what? The keyboard,
The keyboard, the mouse. Yes.
The printing, the pointing
device and the
Now, when
scanner.
you talk about the pointing device, we already have examples of pointing device there, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then you have what? The scanner.
Yes.
Now, please, I want you to go to the material. You will see how the keyboard are organized. The keyboard. So how are the keyboard organized? We said how are they organized?
So I'm coming. Oh, let me go and take the textbook.
You want to go and take, but I thought you should be with the textbook, and that's why we are taking the textbook.
Sir.
They have alphanumeric, isn't it? How are the keyboard organized? Can somebody tell me how the keyboard is organized?
The function
Alphanumeric and alphabet.
Keep quiet.
And you have no, please. I don't want anybody to insult. I don't want insults. Is that okay? So what I said is that everybody should be ready to participate. Everybody should be ready to talk. Everybody should get with the idea. We should do it maturely, raising up your hand one after the other. But these are the input device. And I want to believe by now all of us know the keyboard. And we know what the keyboard do. We have the pointing devices. And when you talk of the pointing devices, is there the trackpad, the trackball, isn't it? The touchpad, the pointing stick, isn't it? Then you have the scanner. These are all input what? Device. And when you talk of the output, when we talk of the output, we said the output is used for what? For storing the result. What is the output unit? What is it used for?
I'm not a course rep.
Okay.
It's 33.
Okay. Now let's look at let's just look at the function of the output unit. I said let's look at the function.
Alphabetic, numeric, and alphanumeric.
Yes, that is for the keyboard, isn't it?
Yes,
that
sir.
Is for the keyboard. So we have moved past the input devices. We are now in the output devices. Now, the function of the output devices is that what does it do? It accepts data or information.
I like the man class. So.
Please don't like the class. Understand the class. Understand the lecture. Don't like the class. Don't even like the lecturer. So we are looking at who is saying now what. I said you should not use vogue language. You are saying now what.
Now wow.
Please. You are still repeating it again. I will go and stop using vogue language. Is it okay?
Sorry, sir.
Oh, yeah, mute yourself. Mute yourself. Let's continue. Mute yourself. Let's continue. Now, we want to look at the function of the output unit. Now, we say that one of the functions is that it accepts data. It accepts data or information sent from main memory of computer. Now, function is that it converts the binary coded input to what? High-level languages or inputted languages. So that is for the output devices. Then these are examples of output devices that we are already familiar with. So output devices show the result of the processing of the data. You have monitor and you have printer. Under monitor, you have various type of monitor. The flat panel, LCD, the CROT. Then for the printer, you have the laser jet printer, you have the inkjet printer, and you have the dot matrix printer. Then the storage unit or storage media. So what is the storage? We say storage unit is used for storing data and instruction before and after. The storage unit is used for what? For storing data and instruction before and after processing. That is what the storage unit does. Now, these are all the storage media that we have. We have the magnetic media that is comprises of the hard disk, the tape, the floppy disk. Then you have the optical storage device, which is the CD, the DVD, all like that. Then you have the flash memory. So the flash memory card, you have some system have some use a flash memory card, then USB flash storage device, and USB drive. So these are all storage devices. You can get them in the manual. You can get them in the manual. Please take time to go to the manual and read to understand better. Now, the next one is the processing hardware. When we are talking about the processing hardware, we are talking of the motherboard and the microprocessor and the card. Then we said that don't forget, we said that please know it today, know it in this lecture, that the motherboard is the main electronic component, of the computer. If you look by this side, you will see a motherboard. This is how a motherboard looks like. This is the picture of a motherboard. It is a circuit board. So when we are the processing hardware has to do with the motherboard, has to do with the processor. So the processor is one of the most important piece of processing hardware on the motherboard. This also is a processor, one of the processors. These are the pieces. This is a processor. So it's one of the most important piece of a processing hardware on the motherboard. Then you have the cards. Cards are removable circuit board. So those are the processing hardware. Then the memory units. We said that the memory unit is used to store data and instruction before and after processing. Memory is also called primary memory or internal memory. It is used to store data temporarily or permanently. But in computer memory can be classified into two types: the primary memory and the secondary memory. Now, these are the memory. The memory are the random access memory, which is RAM. It is volatile in nature. One of the characteristics that it is volatile in nature. Then you have the cache memory. The cache memory is also RAM, cache, or CPU. You have the virtual memory. You have the read-only memory. This read-only memory, which is ROM, is non-volatile and is non-volatile, and it works with BIOS. So then the primary memory. The primary memory, as we already know, is the main memory, and the main memory is directly or indirectly, it is connected to the CPU system via a bus memory. So if you remember those components of a computer, you see the memory, you see how they are connected to it. So the central processing unit is the CPU, continuously read instruction, stored in the memory and execute them as when required. But the primary memory can be further classified into the RAM and ROM. So let's go back again to that our diagram. And that's why I said, please try as much as possible not to forget this diagram. Don't forget this diagram. You can see the primary memory. The primary memory is under the memory. You have the RAM and you have the what? ROM. Please don't forget this diagram. Always remember this diagram. So we'll move on. This is where we are. Okay. We said primary memory can be further classified as RAM or ROM. Now, what does the RAM, random access memory, what does it do? We said it is a place in the computer system, it's a place in the system where the operating system, the application program, and the data are what? Are kept temporarily. Please don't forget, we said the RAM, random access memory. We said it is the place in a computer where the operating systems, where the application programs, and where the data are currently kept. And we said they are kept temporarily. It's temporary. They are always there temporary so that they can be accessed by the computer processor. Now, what happens if the system is turned off? What do you think will happen? What will happen? What will happen when a system is turned off, or when you are working and the light goes off immediately? What do you think will happen?
Everything will clear.
Information is lost.
Volatile memory is going
be
to be
erased.
dead because it's volatile.
Yes.
So no power to
Yes, yes, no power to hold it. So all the content will be off automatically. We will not be yeah. I hope we are following.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so that's why we say that, yeah, the content of RAM are no more available once a computer is turned off. Experiment it. Type. When you are typing, you have not saved. Off your system automatically. Just off your system and see if you go back, if you see it without saving. Just type, open a document, open a file document, just type, and just
if you save it, you still see it in the root.
Yes, if you save it, if you save it, you still see. But if you don't save it, what will happen?
Going to vanish.
Delete automatically.
Yes, automatically you just no more be available. That's why we said it is volatile, because what is content accessible only as long as the computer is on. That's why most times when you are typing, you always pressing Control-C, Control-C, isn't it? You always pressing Control in order to save. But in Strava, you don't save, and the light goes off, the system goes off, everything, all the content. So you can practice that. You can practice this. You can take this one as your lab test, your lab practical. Take it as your lab practical. Try to type. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, try to use it as your lab practical in your system. Open your system, try to type and be typing. Then so just all of a sudden tune it off. And when you tune it off, go back and see
He's
if
talking about experiment. I was just experimental.
so that's why we are saying they are what? Volatile. Yes, sir. Can we mute ourselves a little? Can we mute ourselves for some time?
You guys should mute yourselves now. You guys should all mute yourselves. Most of you.
Badmus. Abdullah Badmus. Abdullah Badmus.
Sir?
Are you the one talking?
No, sir.
Okay. Somebody is raising up his hand. Oluwakayode. You want to ask question? Oluwakayode,
Yes, sir.
you want to ask question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You said you should try typing, then after some time you should put on the laptop.
Without saving, don't save.
Yes, sir.
Just
But
open.
even without saving, some laptops, if you put it off, when you turn it back on, it will show you what you were typing before that you forgot to save.
Maybe it's an auto save now.
Is it some of us?
Not an auto save, it auto recover it.
Yes, if it is auto save, it will recover it. But please take your time. Use this RAM as a lab practical. Lab practical. Yes, lab practical. I did not say you should submit it. Practice it. Lab practical. Practice it yourself. Then we look at wrong. Wrong is what? Read only memory. Read only memory. Read only memory. Abdullah, are you online?
Sir? Yes.
Abdullah, explain the slide that you are seeing.
Okay, sir. Read only memory. It's programmed at manufacturing time and contains manufacturer's instructions. So, like a phone now, it comes with some apps, pre-installed apps on it. That's
okay. Now, okay.
Sir?
I'm listening.
Okay, so once the user buys the phone, like there are some apps that will be on it. Okay.
Okay. I'm listening. Okay, let me continue. We said it ran a program at the manufacturing time. It's the manufacturer that does it at the manufacturing time and contains manufacturer instruction. So anything you want to know about a particular system, you just need to go to the ROM. So it said its content cannot change by the users. The content cannot be changed by the users, and it is a permanent store. That's where permanent store. That's where all the content are stored. You cannot change it. You cannot change the content because there's a manufacturer that install the instructions. And the secondary memory. The secondary memory, you can see now the secondary memory or the auxiliary memory. You can use it. Yeah. So you can say that the secondary memory and the auxiliary memory is a storage. They are also a device. So it is not directly accessible by it's not, take note, the secondary memory, the auxiliary memory, they are not directly accessible by the CPU. So it passes through some process. Then look at the storage devices, you can see some of the examples. The storage devices are of two types. The magnetic devices, the magnetic device, which include the hard drive, and the optical storage devices, which include the CDs, the DVDs, the pen drive, the zip drive. So these are secondary storage device. These are secondary storage device. They store data and program permanently. It retains after the power is turned off. So all the disk storage device, the secondary storage device, they all store data permanently. And when the light is off or when the light is turned off, you will still get what the content, it will still retain the content in that. So you have various types of examples. You have the hard drive, and the hard drive is located outside the CPU, but most often it is contained in the system cabinet. You also have the floppy disk, the optical laser disk. So those are all examples of secondary storage devices. Now,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Sir, about the secondary storage devices, is
Yes.
flash memory meant to be under like the
Flash memory,
secondary?
flash memory. What you go to the market, you buy flash memory, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? You go to the
Yes, sir.
market, you buy. And when you buy, you attach it outside the system, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that's why we call it secondary storage. You put it,
Sir.
you copy your data, and the data that is there is permanent, isn't it? It's permanent. Even when the light is off, it's permanent, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And when the light is turned on, you will still go back and you will still find the content in the memory, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So we still see the flash is still seen as secondary. Look at it there. Look at the various examples. Okay, I'm
Yes,
trying to
sir.
see where this storage media or storage unit, this storage unit or storage media, these are all the examples. The hard disks, the tape, the flash, the floppy disks. Now, when you are talking about the optical devices, you have the CD, DVD-ROM, and DVD-RIDE. Those are, then when you talk about the flash memory, which is what you refer to just now, that's the flash memory card, the USB flash, all of them are classified as storage media, which is secondary what? We refer to them as secondary what?
Storage media memory.
Yeah, is it okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, this is the part that is of most interesting. This is the part that I want you to always take note of. He said the central processing unit is he said that one of the tasks of central processing unit to perform is in performing what? Operations. Operation like arithmetic and logic operation. Now, let's go back to this our diagram. Please, can somebody off the mic? Can somebody turn off their mic?
Hey, off your mic. Off your mics.
Emmanuel Divine, off your mic now.
Emmanuel Divine, unmute yourself.
Who is the one talking? No, I want to know. Okay, person has moved his side. Now, I've told you that you should look at this component of a computer system. I said you should never forget this component. I said if you look at the central processing unit, what are those contents inside the central processing unit? Nilian, are you there? Nilian. Nelly. Where is Nelly? Nelly. Nelly. Nelly, nurse, are you there? Nelly has run away.
Maybe our network.
Oh, maybe it's our network. Okay.
Hey,
Right.
sir, I can hear you.
Nelly, where are you?
Sir, I don't know. My phone is having network issue.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Nelly, can you see this? Can you see this design, the component of the system?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you look at inside the central processing unit, what are those other components that you see? Mention them.
The control unit and the memory.
Correct.
So under the control unit, we have arithmetic logic unit.
Is it okay? Now, I want you to look at this diagram one more time. It has a central processing unit. Under the central processing unit, you have the control unit and you have the arithmetic logic unit. Now, if you look at where the data is coming from, the data is coming from outside, it's going to the input unit, and it's going to where? The arithmetic
logic unit.
That is what I want you to always know, to always remember. But all of them are being controlled by the what? The control unit. Now, let's move on. Let's go to where processing unit. Now, we said that the central processing unit is given the task of performing operations like arithmetic and logical operation. Now, the central processing CPU is called the what? It's called the what?
Brain of the computer.
Brain of the
It's called the what?
Brain of the computer.
Called
brain of the computer.
brain of the computer. Please don't ever forget that. Which of the following is referred to as the brain of the computer?
CPU.
CPU. Okay. The system. Please, let's put ourselves, let us be a little bit mature. I thought we are mature. I thought we are university undergraduate. We are university undergraduate, isn't it? We are university undergraduate. University of first choice. We are students of the universities of first choice. So then the CPU can be what? Can be sub-classified into three components. What are those three components? What are those three components? Is it 3 or 2?
Two.
The CPU.
And there are
2.
controlling.
Now let's look at this. That's why I keep telling you that you should look.
Okay.
That's why I said you should keep looking. And that's why I said you should look at this diagram very well and try not to forget. Always don't forget. The CPU, the central processing unit, how many components are you seeing there?
3.
Sir.
3.
3.
I thought
So let's
was
go
under the control unit.
Said what? Okay, let me leave it. Let me leave this diagram. Let us be looking at it and be looking at it. Look at this diagram. Okay, look at this diagram now. Let's look at this diagram now. What are you seeing? How many components are you seeing in that diagram? The CPU.
3.
3. How many are there? Measure the 3.
Memory.
Control unit.
And what? Arithmetic and logic unit, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Madam, Emmanuel Define, are you the one talking? Tell your mother to stop shouting. That she's in our class.
Go to the board.
Emmanuel Divine, can you tell your mother to stop shouting? She's disturbing our class.
So how do you know it's his mother?
Yeah, man, they live in mother.
He has his mother now. Don't you see that an elderly? It's an elderly person that is shouting. Now look at the CPU. How many components are you seeing there?
3.
3 memory unit, control unit, and what? Arithmetic and logical unit. The same thing here. How many units are you seeing? Control unit, arithmetic and logic unit, and the memory. But is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now where are we now? We are where? Central processing
Central
unit.
processing.
CPU can be classified into what? 3 parts. The control unit, the arithmetic and logic unit, and the what?
Memory unit.
Now, what is it okay? Now, what is the function of the control unit? What is the function of the control unit? The control unit is coordinate all activities of the
Is it that she needs your mic? Can't you?
Everybody should mute their mic
Can you just them?
Everybody needs their mind.
Mommy is shouting.
Maybe you should mute everybody.
Okay.
If you mute everybody.
Emmanuel Divine, please stop disturbing the class. Tell your mother to be calm for some minutes. Good.
I think he's thinking.
Now, we said the control unit, the CPU, the control unit CU, we said it determines which operation is to be performed and in what order is to carry it out. So the work of the control unit now is to determine the operation to be performed and in what order it should carry out. So the CPU transmit coordinating control signal to other computer component. So that is the main function of the control unit. Then the arithmetic unit. Don't
Sorry,
forget.
Sir, please, can you go back to the control unit?
Okay, this is the control unit. What do you want?
Sir, please, can you say what you said about it again? Can you?
I said the control unit manage the various components of the system, all the various components of the system. It is the control unit that manages it. So it is the control unit that reads the instruction from the memory and does the interpretation and interprets it and changes it into a series of signals to the active other part of the computer. So that is why we said that the CPU controls all the operation that goes in the system and it carries it out one after the another. And we also say that it is the CPU that controls and coordinates input, output, memory, and all other units. So that is the work of the CPU. The main work of the CPU is that the main function of the control unit is that it manages the various components of the computer. How does it manage it? It reads the instruction from the memory. It then interprets it and changes it into a series of signals to other parts, to other active parts, of the system. That is what the control unit does. Now, I hope is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Yes, sir.
But just know that the control unit controls all operations, both in all the operations that take place in the system. The arithmetic and logic unit, of course, we know from your own. Yeah, you said arithmetic unit from your own little observation in your primary school days or secondary school days. When you hear the word arithmetic and logic, please let's move so that we can enjoy Now, what is arithmetic? What do you understand by arithmetic? Arithmetic is just the operations. Arithmetic are the operations. What are those operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So that is where it is done. Arithmetic and logic units. Arithmetic operation. What are those operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. All the arithmetic operation takes place in the arithmetic unit. Then it takes place in the arithmetic and logic. Then when you talk about the logical operation, you are talking about the and, or not.
No.
Yes, and, comma, or, comma, or
no.
not. Yes. Those are logical operations. Not only this.
No.
Yes. So, and not only those ones, you have comparison too. You have, when you are talking about the logical operation, you are talking about A is greater than B. Those are comparison. When you want to talk about comparison, that's when you'll be talking of less than, equal to. Those are the various operations that takes place in the arithmetic and logical units. Arithmetic and logical unit. The operation unit and the logical operation. Then what is now the function of the CPU? The function of the CPU, the central processing unit, that it controls all the parts and software and data flow of the computer. It performs all operations. It accepts data from input device. It sends information to the output device. It executes programs stored in memory. It stores data either temporarily or permanently. It performs arithmetical and logical operations. These are all the functions of the CPU. Now, let me take you back to the diagram again. I don't want you to forget this diagram. Yes, you can see this diagram. You can see where the arithmetic logic unit is. You can see where the memory is. You can see where the control unit is. They are all under the central processing unit. And that's why I'm asking us, what are the functions of the central processing unit? We said it controls all the parts and software and data flow of the computer. It performs all operations. What are the operations? I believe you know. It accepts data from input devices. It sends information to output devices. It executes programs stored in memory. It stores data. Either the data are stored permanently or temporarily. It performs arithmetic and logic. Those are the functions. So let's quickly just ask this question. So who answered this question? Who answered the question? Who answered the question?
B.
What is B?
Physical component of a computer.
Okay, so that is the answer. These are common secondary media, diskettes. Of course, you know these ones. These are hard drive. These are common secondary media, the optical laser jet. So that is the end of the lecture for today. So any question? Who want to ask question? Who want to contribute? Who want to say something? This is time for question now. This is time for question. Who want to ask question?
I want to ask a question about the COS.
The COS?
Yes, this
the COS.
COS 101. I want to ask a question about it.
COS 101, Introduction to Computer Sciences. Ask.
Yes. Medical students offering this course from now on in first semester.
Who?
Medical students.
Have you registered your course recently? Did you register your course? The most important thing, first of all, is for you to check your portal and see if the course is there.
Sir, the thing is that this course is on our CCMAS, the updated CCMAS, but it's not on our portal.
Updated CCMAS.
It's not on our portal.
It's on some of Primate's portal.
It's on like which one?
It's on please.
This is a 100 level course.
Online,
This is a 100 level course.
Everybody can talk at once.
Please, let us talk one by one.
So,
okay. I'm hearing you.
Morning, sir.
Yes.
All right, so being sent
you said?
So Dean of Faculty of Science sent the updated list of courses
Is the course
yes.
Is the course there? Is the course there?
The course is there, sir. For Primate, the course is there. The course is on our.
Then if the course is there, that means you have to do it. You have to register it.
On our portal, that's what I'm saying.
If it's not in your portal, do you have course advisors? Do you have course advisor? Do all of you have course advisor?
Yes, sir.
I think we should.
Yes,
Meet
sir.
your various, meet your various course advisor. They will be in a better position to advise. That's why they are called course advisor. They are to advise on the course you should take and the course you should not take. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Any more questions?
Please, sir, are we getting the slides for this class?
So please remember, the next lecturer that will be taking you people is Dr. Mohiri. The next lecturer that will be taking you people on this course is Dr. Mohiri. That is next week. That is his contact. You people should reach out to him. Who is the next lecturer now that will take you people the next lecture next week?
Dr.
Yes, Dr. Mohiri. So that means I have finished my part. Yes, I finished my part now. So these are the
So I have a
people.
question.
Yes, I'm listening. Ask.
The question.
The cost outline for this course, is it similar to the cost outline
The
for
course what?
103? Outline for this course.
The course
what? Similar to the cost outline for AMS 103.
Yeah, AMS 103 and course 101 and FSC 133, they are the same. These are the course content.
All right, sir.
Any more
Please, sir, are we
questions?
getting slides for this class?
Have you gotten the manual from the bookshop?
No. Some of us have not been able to get the manual.
It's
I have a
there.
question.
Go to the bookshop, it's there. My slide is just a key point, but the course material gives a detailed description of what the course is. Yes, who has question?
I have a question.
Yes, ask before I end the class.
A computer's RAM. If a computer's RAM
Computer
increase from a computer's
RAM.
I have a question, sir.
Increase from like 4 gigabytes.
I don't understand.
Like, if a computer's RAM, that is, if a computer's RAM is increased,
is it RAM?
A computer's RAM, RAM.
Okay, RAM. What happened to RAM?
Increase from like 4 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes. What is going to be the most noticeable effect?
You are increasing the RAM,
Yes, sir.
from 2 gig, from 4 gig to 10 gig. What would be the notable difference? What do you think would be the notable? Is anyone in the class? What would be the notable difference if you are increasing the size, capacity?
I think the speed in displaying information,
Speed of the
speed in the response to information.
The computer still perform fast.
The speed is going to
Hello,
increase.
sir.
Yes, I'm listening.
I have a question, sir.
Okay.
My is if a computer is slow, is it in any way related to the CPU?
Mention the component, mention those components. Don't just say it's related to the CPU. Look at the CPU. Look at the CPU. The CPU has components, the central units, arithmetic and logical units, the memory, the RAM. If a system is slow, it has nothing to do with the CPU. Does it have anything to do with the CPU? It has no basis with the CPU, the central processing unit. The central processing unit is to perform operation. What you should be considering, what you should be thinking of is probably the hard drive. The hard drive, that is the storage. The hard drive. Probably you should last time we talked about the various components, the various hardware of the system. We mentioned hard drive. Hard drive is just the hard drive. Then we mentioned the SSD. Do you know what the SSD does? Do you know what the SSD does? The SSD makes the system faster. SSD. So remove if you and the system is slow, just remove the hard drive and replace it with SSD to become faster. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So
Remove.
what's the meaning of SSD?
Why do you want me to tell you? We did it in next class. We did it last class. It's an external device now. It's an external device. External what device?
Solid state drive. Solid state drive.
What do you call it?
Solid state drive. Solid state drive.
What about HDD?
Hard disk drive.
Auntie, have you seen the meaning of HDD and SSD?
Yes, I have.
What is SSD?
Solid state drive.
What about HDD?
Hard disk drive.
Both of them are examples of what? Both of them are examples of what?
Storage device. Also storage device.
Yeah, they are what? Examples of what?
Storage
So I
devices.
think there are types of
drive.
Yes, but
yeah, exactly. Drive.
Storage
examples
devices.
of what? HDD and
Storage
SSD. They are
devices.
examples of what? I'm asking you.
Storage devices.
They are what?
Non-volatile storage device.
They are like flash memory.
HDD
External storage devices.
and SDD. Examples of what? They are
Magnetic
examples of
Non-volatile storage.
lights.
Sorry, I did not hear you.
External, those are that example. They are external storage devices, and they are some of them are very good in solution to transferring file. You said? You said? You said what? Who is talking?
Nobody.
Okay, nobody is talking.
I have a question.
Okay, can we, is any more questions?
Sir, please, can we go back to the last two slides, sir? The last two slides, sir.
I can't hear you well now. You said what?
Sir, please go to the last two slides.
Please talk. Can I talk one after another? You said can what? Can somebody repeat what he said? It seems that his internet is not stable. Because
Sir,
I'm
please,
seeing here.
can you go back to the last
what
two
is
slides?
it?
Can you go to the last two slides, sir?
This one? This one? This one? This is
Yes, that of diskette and hard drive, sir.
These diskettes, these are commonly used one. Commonly used, we say commonly used. At least you see diskette every day. You have come across it at one point in time. The same thing with the hard drive, but the same thing with this optical laser disc, this CD-ROM and the DVD-ROM. But most one that is hard for you to see all the time is the SSD, because it's solid what? Solid what?
State drive.
Solid state drive, sir.
State drive.
Is this state or storage?
Solid
State.
state drive.
Solid
Solid
state
state
drive.
drive.
Is this
solid?
Is this solid state drive or for solid storage drive? Which one?
Solid
It's
state
solid
drive.
state drive.
Which one, class?
Solid state drive.
Solid state.
Yes, okay.
Solid what?
State
drive.
State drive. State.
Okay. So any more questions? Want to end class so that all of us can go home. Any more questions?
So we
No,
are
sir.
done.
No question, sir.
They are not true.
I said
No,
I
sir,
have
no question.
I have
No question, sir. No question.
practice question in the office. None of you bother to come for the practice question. Okay, but please,
So like
who is the next
our place is far.
lecturer taking you people? Who is the next lecturer taking? Please, all of you should reach out to him. You can chat him up. You can remind him, sir. Next week.
Everybody that reach out to him.
You said what?
Is everybody that reach out to him? Like,
No, it's not everybody, but you have cost rep, isn't it?
Exactly.
You have cost rep, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So your cost rep can reach out to him. Please don't forget, Dr. Yes, is the next lecturer to take you chapter 4, chapter 5, and chapter 6. Chapter 4, chapter 5, and chapter 6.
Sir, can we have a quick recap from chapter 1 to chapter 3?
Quick
what?
A quick recap. Okay, a quick recap. Okay, and this is it.
A quick recap from
This is the
chapter 1
quick
to
recap.
chapter 3.
Introduction.
I have a question.
What?
Should the cost send attendance to you, or you pick it from the chat? Yeah.
Okay.
The chat box. What happened?
Should the cost rep send attendance
We
to
end
you,
the
or
class today. Since there's no more question, we end the class today.
Thank you, sir. We should have a quick recap.
Thank you, sir.
Please, a quick recap.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Ask question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You talk like that.
Emmanuel Divine.
I got it.
Alpha, the man tells you University of First Choice.
This time first stress be down. I forget down.
Where is Glenny?
Manuel Divine.
Calm down.
Alpha, who gave it